Hello, I'm Ruby Burrito and welcome to today's video. I actually received a request today about doing a guide for fractals, so that is what we're going to do. Before I start, I do want to clarify I am definitely not an expert on fractals, but I have played a fair bit, including now doing a fractal stream every Wednesday. So this is going to be more of a basic overview, a guide to starting fractals and getting into tiers 1 and tiers 2. I will be making a series of short videos covering each of the fractals as I do them in tier 2, and I will come back and give more advanced advice once I reach level 100. Now that it's out of the way, let's get started. Fractals are part of the endgame content, with the main entrance here in Lion's Arch. Once you get to the portal, it might be a little confusing because here you can see tiers 1, 2, 3, and 4. You've got a whole bunch of options here. You've got personal fractal level, agony resistance, a whole lot of stuff going on. So we're going to actually go in the tier 1, fractal 1, so we can just go take a look at the lobby. Got ourselves a beautiful loading screen here. And welcome to the Mistlock Observatory. This is a hub for fractals. You can change the fractals from in here. That is done up here in the scale setting sequencer. There's merchants, there's a bank. If we jump down here, so actually, here's Dessa, and then here's Kelve, I would assume. This is who you can talk to start the legendary backpack. There you go. That's specifically tied to the Fractals of the Mist. If I come down here, I can see all the merchants, the bank, the trading post. It's a cool little hub here. Let's talk a little bit deeper than the hub, because I don't think people are going to watch to learn how to get to the trading post inside of the Mistlock Observatory. In fractals, let's go back up top here, which we can do with this little jump pad. Oh, and there is a jumping puzzle in here. As you can see, there's a grand chest up there. There's a jumping puzzle. So, I have done it. There's an achievement tied to it. So, fractals are short, dungeon-like instances that usually start with a couple of events, and then you get to a final boss. It is faster than most dungeons, typically speaking, definitely faster than raids, but there's 100 levels here. If I go to tier 4, you can see that there's 100 levels, and each one of them has their own set of mechanics and unique boss. As of the making of this video, which is January 2023, there are 21 different fractals. On screen, you're going to be able to see them now. So we have volcanic, uncategorized, snowblind, urban battleground, swampland, cliffside, aquatic ruins, underground facility, molten furnace, molten boss, deep stone, siren's reef, chaos, aetherblade, thaumanova reactor, twilight oasis, swampland, Captain Mai Trin. Then we have the Solid Ocean. I think I said some of these twice. Regardless, the last ones are the Shattered Observatory, Sunqua Peak, the Nightmare Fractal, and I don't believe Solid Ocean was there earlier. So, you can kind of see that 1 through 19 are similar, that they're all white. And there's this personal agony resistance here. Well, let's talk about the first 19. You can jump into them right away, which is the nice thing about fractals, is you have access to most of them straight off the bat. After that, if I click on Solid Ocean, suggested agony resistance is 8. That is the lowest one. If I come over here to the level 100 Sunqua Peak, that's going to be 150 agony resistance. Now, doing fractals drops +1 agony resistance infusions. I believe, yes, they are tradable. If I go to agony, nope, if I could spell it correctly, agony, if I sort by price, +1 agony infusion sell for 7 copper. So you could get started if you have the ascended items that have infusion slots. You can get started straight away and at least get into the first couple. But if I go to the more expensive ones, a +18 agony infusion is the highest you're going to see on here because it costs 2,800 gold. There's technically up to 24, at least according to the wiki, but that one apparently costs 125,000 gold to make. So we're not going to talk about that one. To get from tier 1 to tier 2, you need to progress. It is kind of how it looks here. So as you can see, my personal fractal level is 43. So I'll show you in tier 2. The red ones show the pretty much ones that I absolutely cannot do. I mean, without any agony resistance, these are gonna start to kill me. They do damage per second. Once you start getting into orange, it gets pretty high, and then red, you pretty much just die. But on my other character that I've been playing on, I have agony resistance, and I'm able to go actually all the way through 50. But I would have to do 43, which unlocks 44. I can't actually start these. So one way to do fractals is to go 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 100. Another way is if somebody else has them unlocked, they can start it for you. And if, for example, someone started this Sunqua Peak, it would increase my fractal level by 1. Once you get into tier 3, it starts getting pretty high. So tier 1 ends with 17 AR. Then you get 18 all the way up to 61. Tier 3 is 63 up to 106. And then tier 4 is 107 up to 150. And you can see here, there's 2 different icons that you can see on the screen here next to the aquatic ruins. Well, we're going to start with the purple ones at the bottom. So daily tier 1 aquatic ruins all the way through daily tier 4 aquatic ruins. If I pull up my daily achievements here, there's daily fractals. So there's going to be a tier 4 Thaumanova reactor. There's going to be a tier 3 Thaumanova reactor all the way through. So if it picks one, it's going to be the same for every single one. And as it says, if you do the tier 4, you get the achievement chest for all of the previous tiers. That is why it is profitable to do tier 4s. There's also a suggested, or recommended, sorry. There's a daily recommended. There it is. The daily recommended fractal scale 31 is what I have, which is the urban battleground, which gives you a different reward. So daily recommended scale 1 gives me the fractals adept research chest. These give initiate, adepts, all the way to the master's chest for doing tier 4s. And then you have the mislock instabilities. You start getting mislock instabilities in tier 2, and when you get to tier 4, you get 3 of them. Tier 3 then obviously has 2. These are modifiers to your experience that makes it harder to complete. So for example, if we go to tier 1, level 100, we have Sunqua Peak, Mislock Instability, Fractal Vindicators. Fractal Avengers are replaced by more powerful Fractal Vindicators. The next one is each boon reduces maximum health by 1.5%, and boon duration is increased. So as you start going up, these are things you're going to have to take into account. That's going to be it for the basic overview of fractals. Like I said, I'm going to be doing fractals on Wednesdays. If you go to my Twitch, you should be able to see my my stream schedule, and I'm going to be looking to play with people so that I can increase my personal fractal level, and I can get some of these achievements done. And as I do, I'll be recording, and we're going to do some guides as to what the mechanics of each of the individual fractals are. Those will be some nice bite-sized videos, hopefully, and we'll go from there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all the support. As always, if you want to support the channel, feel free to like, comment, and if you haven't yet, subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.